The things that I'm most proud of is when I think of the moments of truth where I truly challenged myself. I've realised along the journey that it's not always whether somebody else has done it first, it's about you doing it for yourself first.
What makes me the proudest is I have a 14-year-old daughter. Sometimes she just makes the slightest comment to her friends or, even to me about my work or what I do and the achievements I've made. So to me, I think that makes me so proud because having a daughter, I know that I'm probably a really good role model to her and that, it shows that she can go off and achieve whatever she wants and do whatever she wants, in her career and in her life.
I think the proudest moment being a teacher was my first student that ever received their course award. I was so incredibly satisfied and proud of myself and of the student. It was a pretty momentous occasion for me.
So I've been doing business since the day I was born. I'm absolutely passionate about everything business and IT. I literally started running my own businesses while I was still in school. So it's the way I live and breathe.
I've really found the asset management aspect really interesting, and it sort of had a connection with the spatial work I had done in map making, and sort of then just started to really find my niche in asset management. So I went back and did my postgrad in infrastructure engineering and management, and then the rest is sort of history, and ended up sort of looking after a lot of project management works around roads and drainage initially, and now here at GOTAFE, project management around the buildings.
It's important for me to teach the next generation of students because I get immense satisfaction out of watching them grow from student to professional in the matter of 12 months, and I really enjoy following their career and their future.
So in my role, I have faced a number of challenges along the way. As an example, probably earlier on in my early 30s, there was an opportunity where there would have potentially been a promotion in one of the organisations I was working in. The director at the time, who I think knew that I would have been really suited for the role, made a comment, something along the lines like, "Oh, but you'll probably just go off and have another baby," which at the time I didn't. I thought, well, I know I'm not going to do that, but I think, you didn't even really have the opportunity to sort of say, well, what does that matter? Like, it makes no difference if I did.
I just think traditionally it's been a male industry, and I think we're starting to get rid of that stigma, but I think, we really need to sort of market that to women because women can do anything that men can do. So I think the best person for the job should get the job regardless of their gender.
So International Women's Day I think is hugely important. I do believe we've got still a journey to travel. That's in our economy. It's recognising the skills and the attributes that women can bring to a workplace. I think it's inside ourselves as well that we need to recognise that we should be stepping forward. Sometimes we just accept that maybe this is not my moment or not my time. I believe when we have days like this, it gives us a moment to stop and reflect on how did I get to this point? What am I doing going forward? It inspires others. So it is a day where we celebrate what we've achieved so far, what we still need to achieve, and it reminds us of celebrating the successes as well as looking at the improvements we can still make.
I think it's really important that it's noted because there are challenges for women in roles like this. So for International Women's Day to sort of show that there's women working in these roles and it's very much achievable and that any female can do it, I think it's really, really important.
I think as women get appointed to more senior roles, they inspire others. So I do believe there's been many changes, but I still think we've got a road to travel, and probably we are responsible for that just as much as society as a whole.
I think the stigma or how difficult and challenging it has been for women in roles like this, I think it's still there. I think it's getting better, but I do think it's still there. And I think it's because mostly that there still aren't a lot of women in some of these roles. So I think that, but the more women we can have working in these roles, I think that breaks down quite a bit.
If I think of International Women's Day over the years that I've attended, that I've followed it, I always come away from it so inspired by the diversity of the cultures that we meet and the attitudes to life and the careers that everybody's got. So I think we need to celebrate that diversity so much and just keep on enjoying it and feeding off it from each other. I think we at International Women's Day, I always feel challenged because I see people that are achieving so much and I look up to them and I want to really follow that path. So it's wonderful to have International Women's Day because this is one of those moments where you get inspiration. My favourite poet is actually Mary Oliver, and she's got a saying, "What will you do with your one wild and precious life?"